Excellent. One of the many roles that I have around here is co-sponsoring the student council of the high school, along with Ms. Young. And this morning, we are starting to turn towards next year. I know that may seem a little bit weird, but if you think about it, this week, we do turn to the month of May, which is the month the school ends. We already have 22 days of school remaining. And so we're starting to think about next year, and one of the first things we do is we think about who you all would like to have represented as student leaders. So this morning, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hearing from the students who have expressed interest in running for the high school student council executive committee. We're going to hear some of their visions for what they would do in these roles next year. And then later today, high school students, you will be voting. So you may vote in the commons over lunch and after school till 3:15. Middle school students, I recognize you don't have a vote in this process, but it's still important to learn and to listen. One of the goals that Ms. Young and I have is to work more closely between the high school student council and the middle school student council, so that as we do 6 to 12 events, it feels more like a connected group. So middle school students, this is a chance for you to hear some of the visions of high school students, and then next year, as some of you are selected to be student leaders, you can connect with this group as well. So I'm going to turn it over to our candidates. So here's our ballot. We'll leave this up while they introduce themselves and which position, which office they're going to run for, and they give a little bit of the ballot and things that they'd like to see next year. So students.
Good morning. Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zach Altman, and I will be your SCO president next year. I'm a current junior, and next year will be my 7th year at EMS. I've been involved in many different aspects of school life here, such as student council, athletics, the arts, and many other various clubs and activities. Speaking of student council, I served on SCO last year as treasurer, and I'm excited to serve next year as president, seeing as I am running unopposed. As president, I have a few goals in mind I want to accomplish or work toward. Firstly, I would like to expand student government, expand upon student government as a student voice part of SCO that has been lost in recent years. SCO has been more an event planning group and been trying to make the name student council happen, but it hasn't really been. Student council hasn't seemed like a fitting name recently, so there's been little action taken. So I want to take action and focus on both event planning and governmental aspects of SCO in the following year. I would also like to make events meaningful and fun as possible next year. Because events have been great in the past years, but it's always our job as SCO to take your input on events and make them better in the previous years. So that's what I'm hoping to do again. And I also want to strengthen communication between the student body and SCO, because another thing that has been lost is that communication between. So I'd like to consider implementing one open SCO meeting every trimester where students can come and give input and ideas so student voices heard. I'd also like to send out a Google form every month asking for students to give their input on certain ideas and suggestions on how to make school better. Because that'll give, as the year progresses, it'll help to see what people are thinking and stuff like that. So as we move into next year, I and the other members of the SCO would like us to be available to talk to us about ideas. I promise no one on the stage is that scared. And I'm sure every other person would be a great candidate for SCO next year. I'm looking forward to working with all of them, or whoever's elected next year. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.
This year, I was selected to be a junior class officer. This has allowed me to be planning school events from a whole new perspective. I've been in charge of a committee that's been planning the upcoming junior senior banquet for the past 6 months. This has made me a much more organized person through my time as an officer. My junior year has also been an excellent time management. I would like to use these skills at SCO next year to be the best vice president that I can be. Since I'm unopposed, I thought it would be the best use of everyone's time for me to just go over my goals for next year. One of my goals is to put a greater emphasis on school events. I feel that as high schoolers, we need more opportunities to go outside and talk to our friends. Many of us are stressed over a wide variety of things, whether it's class or college or whatever it may be. I think we need to. That's why next year, I would like to take at least one chapter from each month and change it into a school central. Studies show that even 20 minutes of exercise can improve learning in the classroom. This applies whether you're throwing your frisbee around with your friends or simply just walking and talking to someone. Exercise has also shown to lower cortisol, which is the main stress hormone in the body. For these reasons, I'd like to make this a reality next year. I would also like to explore the idea of number locking next year. Currently, it's been done every other year, and I would like to change it to a yearly event. Pushing for more school events is not the only reason I'm campaigning. Another goal I have is to do more sharing. Next year, I would like to do even more clothes and food drives. While SCO does primarily focus on the school community, I would like to make sure that we help our local community as well. One last goal I have is that I would like to help bridge the communication gap between the students and the SCO. I'd like to be open to hear from any and all of your ideas about how we can make the school a better place. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to listen today. While you're kind of stuck with me as Vice President, I assure you all that you're in good hands.
Hello there, I'm running for secretary. My name's up there too. I'm Will Kishroff. And as said up there, I'll be running for secretary. I guess I'll start out with talking a little bit about myself, in case you don't know me. I'm pretty well organized here in school. I'm part of several activities, clubs. I also play in the orchestra and jazz band. And I don't know, I like being around the school and I like the community that's around here. It's very nice and it feels welcoming and I just like it here. And I'd like to make a positive impact here. And so I learned through being on SCO this year better ways to, like, I don't know, make a positive change. And that's what I'd like to bring back. And so I guess I'll continue now talking about what a secretary does. Secretary, being secretary to many aspects, part of which is taking minutes for the meetings, which is like sit there and be talking. These guys will be talking, we'll like have an agenda, and then we'll be like, so-and-so said that we should do this. So-and-so said that we should do this, et cetera, repeat. Agenda to infinity and beyond. But how often would you say that you actually kind of know what's going on in SCO? I would say that I definitely didn't until I was part of SCO, and I'd like to change that because the things that we talk about inside there are important to our school community, and so like we should have our school community give input into what we're doing. And I'd like to solve that by announcing what SCO is talking about prior to the meeting. Because, like, say we're talking about the possibility of having a high school year start, which is one of the things currently on the forum agenda is possibilities I'm talking about. And I don't know about you, but I really like sleeping in. I really didn't get to sleep a lot last night because I was working on this speech. And a later start might have helped. Yeah, so like I'm sure other like you all out here would enjoy contributing to that conversation. As well as like what's going to go into our comments, like do we want couches, board games, or like stuff like that. And like bringing you all into SCO is what I would like to do. And yeah, I'd like to announce what the meeting is about and have that widely available to people before the meeting so that they can come if they wish. I also, like, as Zach and Mark, Zach and Mr. Witzler said, well, I'd like to get junior and middle school SCO involved in more things because the last spirit week that we had was like solely planned by them, and that was pretty good, honestly. And I feel like we would come together more as a broader organization committee if we had middle school input on this. Like, yeah. And the other part of being secretary is you got to manage planning stuff around the master calendar of the school. I see some people's sports like jackets, and like I know soccer has a game today, and like It's a lot of stuff. And you definitely don't want an SEO event where there's like 4 people doing go. So that's pretty tough, but I think I'd be pretty good at managing that because I'm a pretty busy individual. I've got several orchestras that I play in, and they meet like an hour, sometimes over an hour a day. And that's on top of like schoolwork and working in the chemistry lab and like all the other stuff I do. And so I got pretty good at like writing out and blocking into chunks where I need to be in by what time. And like if say I was a secretary, I feel like using those skills would be very beneficial for SEO events, because sometimes there's times where it's like, oh, we're doing a bunch of stuff, and then it's like, well, I'm going to sit here for like an hour and I'm not doing anything at all. And so, there are honestly a lot of great candidates up for SEO right now, and I think I would work very well with any one of them if I was elected. And I want to communicate and make a positive change in schools. So thank you for listening.
Good morning, Eastern Mennonite School. My name is Chloe Thornton, and I am ready to be your next SCO secretary. In order to be an effective secretary, you need to have attention to detail, good organizational skills, and strong communication skills. I believe that I possess all these qualities and more. These qualities are important because the secretary is in charge of all meeting notes, helps communicate events to the student body, and coordinates events with the school calendar and administration. I have served on SCO board this past year, as well as the Christmas Project Committee, and I have been the print edition manager of Woodstock, which is our school's newspaper. I also participate in many different extracurricular activities, such as tennis and theater. I believe that I am an easygoing person, and someone that people feel comfortable talking to. I think that one main problem with SCO is that it lacks student representation. And if I'm elected as secretary, I promise to make people's voices heard and open up SCO meetings once a month to the general public. I think that open up meetings is a great way to help improve SCO and to let people know what really is going on. I will also work with the Woodstock to get SCO minutes into the school newspaper. SCO is more than just an event planning committee. It's a representation of our student body. And I want to make sure that people feel that way and don't just see it as a group of people that meets once a month to plan fun events and dances. While that is a part of SCO, there's more to it than that. Because I am currently a sophomore, I have the ability to potentially serve 2 years at SCO, which gives me more time to make changes and to help it grow. I think that everyone up on the stage is a really great candidate, and I would be perfectly happy with Will as the secretary, and I think you do an amazing job. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I wish everyone that is ready the best of luck.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carter Lawson, and I'm coming to you as SCO treasurer. Currently, I'm a junior class officer and a member of the Model Unit Club. In the past, I played soccer at the middle school, JV, and varsity levels, and worked with our Rising Mixed Hunger Committee to raise money for meals. I first came to EMS in 8th grade. Coming from a homeschooling background with only a few years of public school experience, I was unsure what private school would be like. When I arrived, I was surprised at the strong community values held by our school. EMS is an academic space that encourages comfort and positive relationships. Through our school's programs and clubs, I found my values, along with a genuine pride in our school community. As your SCO treasurer, I will not only work hard to manage the financial aspects of SCO, but I will also work hard to facilitate better communication between SCO and the student body, and find ways to help us feel like a strong community. This could be anything from publicizing sports events where students have a chance to plan to attend home games, listening to your ideas of ways to increase student involvement. I would work closely with the other members of SCO to help plan school day out and beach day, including you in the discussion by sending out school-wide polls to gather student opinions and ideas for activities. I also hope to work more closely with junior SCO to ensure that planned programs don't have unnoticed effects on the underclassmen and unintentionally exclude them from good time. So when you vote at lunch today, consider voting Carter for your SCO treasurer. Thank you.
Hey everyone,
I'd be a great fit for SCO treasurer. Let's start with the basics. I know how to save a budget of money. I've been setting aside half of my money for college since I was born, and I'm currently also saving up for a car. I understand how important it is to spend wisely, plan ahead, and be transparent when dealing with finances, especially when that money represents your hard work through fundraisers or school events. Back in middle school, I was part of junior SCO. I represented our 8th grade class as well, so I've already had some experience speaking for others and being involved in student leadership. And honestly, it showed me that leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about listening, being organized, and doing the behind-the-scenes work that helps run things smoothly. Speaking of behind the scenes, I've already been doing a lot of what a treasurer does. At my church, I have a job where I record funds, and I also help coordinate events and fundraisers, like our pancake or breakfast events. That might not sound super exciting, but it's taught me how to keep accurate records, work with a team, and make sure everything adds up at the end of the day. Now, let me rewrote with you guys for a second. I know that student council positions don't come with a magic wand. You don't have the power to change everything we want overnight, but what we do have is a platform, a chance to represent our classmates, bring up ideas, and push for fun and positive change in our school. That's why I'm running. Not because I want to put something to put on a resume, and not because I think I know the best, or I am the best to do it, but because I noticed that hardly anyone from the sophomore class was stepping up to represent us, and I didn't want our voices to go unheard. I care about making sure everyone has a say, not just a lot of people in the room. So if there's an idea you got, whether it's a fun event, a way the school could improve, or even just a small change that would make your day better, I want to hear it. Come talk to me, message me, whatever works for you. I know not everyone feels comfortable sharing ideas in person, so if that's the case, my Instagram DMs are always open. I usually reply within 10 minutes or less, unless I'm in baseball practice. Okay. At the end of the day, everyone here is an important part of the school. We all should have a say in making it better. I'll do my best to make sure your voice is heard, and I'll handle our funds with the care and responsibility it deserves. Thanks for listening, and I hope I can count on your vote for treasurer.
Thank you to all of our candidates for sharing their visions for next year. Again, high school students, you're encouraged to vote during in the commons, during lunch, or after school till 3:15. Thank you. You're dismissed.